Dror Tamir, co-founder and CEO of Hargol Food Tech. Hargol Food Tech is the world's first commercial grasshopper farm, with grasshoppers known to be nature's most efficient source of protein for humans and our sustainable future. Hargol Food Tech continues to market full grasshoppers and grasshopper supplements to food manufacturers worldwide. With all this, Dror has set his goals to change how people think and eat in our world. Please welcome Dror Tamir.
Shalom. My name is Dror Tamir, co-founder and CEO of Hargol Food Tech, the world's first commercial grasshopper farm. And grasshoppers are nature's most efficient protein source. I was born in a kibbutz about 46 years ago. And my grandfather was the chairman of that kibbutz. He established two companies. One is called Galam. Galam is the largest corn processor in Israel. My grandfather was also the first CEO of that company. And he also established Ambar. Ambar is the largest feed producer in Israel, and he also served on the management team of that company. So you can understand that I have some kind of connection to food, agriculture, and industry. However, I give all the credit to my grandmother because she was the cook of the kibbutz. And when I was a young boy, she used to drag me at 4 a.m. to the kitchen of the kibbutz to crack thousands of eggs to cook for hundreds of people every day. So you can understand that this is actually my passion, improving the health and the diet of children and families through better nutrition. And in the past 15 years, I've been an entrepreneur for food and nutrition. And about 5 years ago, I learned a lot about a huge problem, a huge challenge that we all around the world have to face, and that is global demand for protein. You all know that it is expected to double over the coming decades. And you probably also know that existing protein sources are reaching their limitations. For example, meat-based protein is harmful to the environment, while plant-based protein requires heavy processing and is not as healthy as we need it to be. So you can all understand that the demand for high-quality alternative protein will skyrocket over the coming years. However, the new sources that are being discussed and developed have their own set of limitations. For example, again, algae. You heard about spirulina, right? Requires heavy processing as much as plant-based and is much more expensive to produce. To give you a few figures, to produce 1 kilogram of soy, the cost is 30 cents. To produce 1 kilogram of spirulina, what's the cost? $150. So we will not feed the world with spirulina. And cultured meat is still years away from becoming commercially viable. So what do we have around that can actually feed us? And that's insects. They've been attracting a lot of attention in recent years, mainly to feed other animals. But the way we see it, it's insane. Crickets provide superior nutritional content, much healthier for us, so why use it to feed other animals and receive at the end inferior product? So I will talk to you about insects to feed humans. And the animal that attracts most attention in recent years is crickets. But they suffer from 3 major problems. First, crickets do not fit intensive farming. Crickets live as individuals and they tend to die at high densities. Second, this is food, right? Crickets suffer from very distinct taste and flavor, making them a very challenging ingredient for the food and beverage industry to work with. And last, since we are in Israel, crickets are not kosher. So the real solution is grasshoppers, of course, with a whopping 70% protein content, with no processing. All essential amino acids, very high on omega-3, omega-6, iron, zinc, folic acid, very low on saturated fat and cholesterol. They're just an amazing product. 2 more things that you need to know about grasshoppers. First, 2.5 billion people across the world consume insects as part of their diet, mainly in Asia, Africa, and Central America. The most widely consumed insect in the world is grasshoppers. They enjoy very high demand, considered a delicacy, and enjoy very high prices, double the price of beef, pound per pound, in those markets. The problem is that the supply comes from collection in the wild, which means very short, limited season of about 4 to 6 weeks a year. Second thing you need to know about grasshoppers, they are the only kosher insect in the world. Mentioned in the Bible on Leviticus as kosher, parv, by the way. They are also mentioned in the Quran as halal for the Muslims and even for the Christians. John the Baptist used to eat grasshoppers with honey. And it gets even better. Grasshoppers have a neutral taste and flavor, which makes them the perfect ingredient for the food and beverage industry to develop a wide range of food products. And most importantly, grasshoppers' tendency to swarm, and I guess you are familiar with the locust swarms. A locust is a phenomenon of grasshoppers. This makes them best suited for intensive farming. At Hargol, we develop innovative methods and technologies to grow grasshoppers on commercial scale. There's a lot of innovation involved. I will discuss 3 major pillars to it. First, growing them in a closed environment, climate control environment, to enable us grow them year-round at a very high quality and constant quality. Second, incubation of the eggs. In the wild, it takes 40 weeks for the grasshoppers to hatch. Like pregnancy, right? But in our incubators, they hatch within 2 weeks, which means we increase the number of life cycles from 1 to 10 per year. And the cages we develop for vertical farming enable us to grow 10 times more biomass per square feet while maintaining well-sanitized and ventilized environment for the grasshoppers. With Hargol's technology, grasshopper farming is efficient and scalable. Let me introduce you to the team that cracked the grasshopper code. Hanan Aviv is our CTO. Hanan, for over 30 years, has been growing, breeding, and eating a wide variety of insects, and you can see the impact, right? He's the only guy with hair on his head. And Ben Friedman specializes in operations efficiency and food regulation, and myself with experience in business development, marketing, and finance. We also collaborate with leading researchers from universities in Israel, Europe, US, and Australia. And our team already reached 14 people, so we are growing. The market opportunity is huge. I'm not showing you the Asian or the African market. I'm showing you the US insect protein market. 5 years ago, it was 0. Last year, it reached $100 million, and it is expected to reach $1 billion within 5 years. It could grow much faster. The problem is not the demand. The problem is the supply. If you have a chance and you pass through Seattle, I encourage you to go to the Mariners game. They play baseball, if you don't know. And for the last 3 seasons, they've been serving whole roasted grasshoppers, and it is sold out. And if you have a chance, again, in the US, and you have a bag of Doritos, they do have a Doritos, PepsiCo announced it, they have Doritos with insect protein. And soon you will have meatballs in IKEA that is made of insect protein instead of beef. They are making their products, they make their product more sustainable. When we started, most of the responses we received were, "You're disgusting. This is strange. You're so weird." And our strategy was to try and tell the story again and again, and eventually get the traction and change the perception of insects in the developed world. So our strategy was first, build strategic partnerships with leading food producers. With those guys, we developed porridges, meat replacement products, sports protein powders, chocolate bars, and many other exciting food products that will reach the market even this year. We also attracted the attention of the media. They all wrote about us. This is a very exotic story, and they keep on inviting us to conventions. And something that we tried, and the success actually really shocked us, we just applied to a wide range of innovation competitions, and after 2 years of trying, we started winning them one after another. The one I love the most is GITR, Get in the Ring, in Singapore, with 10,000 startups from over 100 countries around the world, and we won it with the Israeli grasshoppers. By the way, second place, a Holland-based company, a startup that developed a glove that is handled through virtual reality, and as NASA is checking it on the International Space Station. And we won because we told them that in order to get to Mars, you have to have insects in the system to use all the waste that humans produce. We raised over $3 million, and we are now scaling up. The demand for the product, mainly from Europe and the US, is way beyond. It's about 60 times higher than our production capacity, and we are now scaling up our production capacity. Right now, we are building additional farms around Israel, and next year we will go global. So, if you want to take a bite from the future, wait until you get to the bus, because we have a small present for you. Just to explain how you use it, after you open the jar, you pick one nice grasshopper, you remove the legs and the wings, you bless, repeat after me, because I'll teach you how to bless in Hebrew. Grasshoppers are kosher. Shehakol nihiya bidvaro. And amen, and then you can eat them. So everything is done by God's voice. This is the food of the future that was the food of the past, and it is much more sustainable. It is much healthier for you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.